Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Guanshuo, and I'm a data scientist at H2O.ai. Today I'm going to present my second place solution. So I first talk about the problem description, then I describe the data and my solution, and in the end I'll present my results. So the problem is to determine whether a given essay was student written or LLM generated. I formulate this problem is a simple binary classification problem. In the test data, we have we have 5 essay topics, and there are totally 9,000 essays. They can be either a student written or LLM written. And in the training data, from the persuade corpus, we can extract the same as 5 essay topics, and we can find around 800 student essays. They are all negative data, so our first task in this competition is to create positive data for fine-tuning. My solution is mainly contain mainly 2 steps. First step is pre-training. Second step is fine-tuning. So in this presentation, I focus on only on the data generation of these 2 steps, and actual fine-tuning, which is the classification step. I won't talk too much about it as it is straightforward. Usually, when we get such kind of problem, we will use language model. In this case, I use Jupyter model. It's a pre-trained Jupyter model, and usually what we will do is we will directly fine-tune on the data set of the problem domain. But in this solution, I did an extra step before the fine-tuning, which is the pre-training step. The purpose of it is to move the because our original Jupyter model is a general language model. So the purpose of the pre-training is to move the original Jupyter model to the competition problem domain. So there will be more chance to get a better final model after the fine-tuning step. So let's first see how I did the data generation of the pre-training step. So what I did is I downloaded the Slim Pajama dataset, which is I think is a very common dataset for LLM pre-training, and I randomly select around 500,000 documents, and for each document I randomly set a truncation point and use the data before the truncation point as prompt and ask the LLM to complete the text. So this approach was presented by James Day about 15 days before the end of the competition, and he wanted to show us that this method works and transformer works for this problem. I think it's a very creative and effective approach. So let's see some examples. On the left, I say this a prompt, which is the truncated text. In the end of the prompt, it reads, West reached a point where he just wanted to win NBA championships, so he signed with the San Antonio Spurs. And in the middle, it is the LLM generated and won the 2018 NBA championships. And on the right is the original text. And later the Warriors as well. So both valid text, and from this prompt we obtain 1 pair of positive and negative sample for the pre-training step. So there can be any topics in this data. In this case, it's talking about some energy saving program, and they're even asking to complete the reference. So the good thing about this pre-training step is it simulates the process of essay writing. but with diverse prompts. So there's no a risk of overfitting to any type of prompts. And we can, with this method, we can generate an endless number of training data. So in the end, we obtain a model that is generally good for the problem domain. For generation, I use totally 15 LLMs because I don't want the model to learn any patterns generated from any specific LLM. So I picked a diverse number of models. So after the pre-training step, I did a fine-tuning step, of course. And in this slide, it shows two essay topics of the 5 topics in the test data, which is the on the left. It's the title is the face on Mars, and the assignment is you have read the article unmasking the face on Mars, so highlighted in yellow. This unmasking the face on Mars is called the source text or the article, and using the information in the article, write an argumentative essay. This is the so the students are required to use the article to write an essay. On the right, you can see something very similar in the challenge of exploring Venus. So that's the source text. The thing is, the issue is we don't. At least I didn't find. I think there are only one source text that can be found on the internet, but we don't have the rest. So we don't have the source text. The issue is, let's see the data set description. In each prompt, the students were instructed to read one or more source texts and then write a response. So this is consistent with what we have seen. And this same information may or may not have been provided as an input to an LLM when generating an essay. So the information may be used to generate essay. So since we don't have the source text, our generated text will be very different from what the students wrote. So there will be, if we generate positive examples without the source text, it will be easier to identify because the LLMs can, or our classifier can rely only on the content difference of these two bunch of text. So there will be a strong distribution difference on positive data. So we need the source text for generation to reduce this gap. This is a typical student written essay. We can see that highlighting yellow, in 1978, the Vikings took pictures that was believed to look like a face. These are, I believe these are from the original source article. And without without providing source article, the LLM is unlikely to write something similar. And highlighting green, we can see some spell and grammatical errors. So we can't feed the source text or article to the LLM, but we can do it in an indirect way. Since the student cite and quote essays, quote the article frequently, what I did is I continue language model fine-tuning on the LLMs on student essays. So the LLM can mimic student writing and begin to cite and quotes as if they have read the article. I did this language model fine-tuning on the LLM with the help of H2O LLM Studio. It's very convenient and open source. And there's no need to write code. So the first step is to create a CSV file as an input file for language modeling. There could be 2 columns. One column contains the assignment as prompts, and one column is the student essays. So download and install LLM Studio and import the data set, and we can create experiments with the imported data set and choose the problem type as causal language modeling and also the backbone. And there are a lot of parameters we can tune, including length of tokens and data type of backbone, and also batch size, number of epochs we want to fine tune, and also some LoRa settings. And after we finish all those parameter setting, we can run the experiments and wait for the running to be end. And then in the end, we can download the model, the LLM model, and start generation. So this is a typical example of a generated text. We can see that the LLM start to write as if they have seen the article. You can see some evidence highlighted in green, and also highlighting yellow. Sorry, also highlighting green. We can also see that LLM start to make spelling or grammatical errors, just like students. So the final classifier won't rely too much on the spelling errors or grammar errors. The LLM I used for this fine-tuning step for the data generation contain mainly some llama models and a Mistral model. And I totally generated about 18,000 positive data, which is LLM generated data. And remember that there are around 9,000, I think it's 8,800 negative data. So we can do the final classification. And for diversity, when doing the data generation, I set temperature to multiple values to increase diversity. So in the fine-tuning step, I fine-tuned 3 models, 2 Jupyter v3 large models and 1 Jupyter large model. And the Jupyter large model is the first version, by the way. So after the fine-tuning, after the pre-training step, I start to do fine-tuning, and there are 2 fine-tuning data sets. One, the FT data is what I just presented, and there, the other one is the V4 data, which is generously shared by other competitors. So I have 3 pre-trained model and 2 data sets. In total, I trained 6 models, and my final results are the ensemble of those 6 models. After the competition, I did some a little bit research because I'm curious of the importance of the pre-training and fine-tuning step. So if you look at the right side of the bar graph, which is the private leaderboard, we can see that if we only do the pre-training step, which means we only have a very general model, this problem type, and we don't use any of the competition data, we can already get top 10, which is rank 8. So it's very good. In the middle, if we only do fine tuning without the pre-training step, we can do better, which is rank 5. And if we combine these 2 steps, I got rank 2. Which is almost same as my final results. It's just there are only 3 models included in the ensemble. So I also did some research about the size of the model, the impact of performance on the size of the model. So we can also only see the right side of the graph, which is private leaderboard, and I think the model I chose our Jupyter v3 model from extra small all the way to large, and I think the results show that the performance scale pretty well, and with increase of the size of the model, and there's no sign showing any convergence of the performance. So very likely, if we change our model to very large LLMs, we can do even better. So that's all I'm going to present. Thank you.